Okay, so as this all is playing out, Republicans are moving ahead with the nomination process for Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. Hearings start a week from today as Democrats blast it as just too dangerous. For more on that, let's bring back our panel to discuss. So, all right, let's talk about this. This is what Chuck Schumer has said about this, the Senate Minority Leader. He says Republican leadership has truly lost touch with reality if it's contemplating marching COVID-stricken members to the Senate to rush through a Supreme Court nominee who could strip health care from 20 million Americans. Instead of engaging in continuously more absurd and dangerous behavior, Chairman Graham should halt this already illegitimate nomination process. Guy.
Absolute nonsense, transparently partisan, and the Republicans are right to completely ignore what Chuck Schumer just said in that quote. This process is not illegitimate to begin with. This is constitutionally kosher. It is also based on history and precedent, the normal thing to be doing when a nominee is made in this type of an election year where the Republican or either party president holds the same party or the Senate is controlled by the same party as the president. So let's just say that the whole illegitimate card is nonsense, to use the same word that I used before. And it's also ridiculous because the Judiciary Committee has been active now for months during COVID-19. Throughout the pandemic, they've held more than 20 hearings on lifetime appointments for judges, where at least part of those hearings in a hybrid fashion have included video and remote access and virtual participation, including a number of Senate Democrats themselves who have availed themselves of that opportunity to question witnesses, ask questions, participate via video. So this can move forward on time starting next Monday. They should do it safely. They should do it smartly. They should do it the same way they've been doing it now for months. And to cry these crocodile tears right now, it's about running out the clock. It's not about health or safety. They're trying to kill the nomination, and that cannot happen.
Well, Ethan, what about that? I mean, it's something Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has talked about. He said, we've been doing this. We've been doing these hybrid hearings. We've been doing this flawlessly. There have been agreements. It's worked for months. Why can't it work with this one?
Well, it can, because I'll talk about what's kosher here for a second, Guy. While it may be legally correct, it is rank, abject hypocrisy on the part of the Republicans. Remember, Senator Rafael Cruz of Texas said he wouldn't hold a hearing on a Supreme Court nominee the whole time if Hillary Clinton had won. So the Republicans took one approach 4 years ago. They have another one now. It's going to come back and bite them very hard when they lose Senate seats in a couple of weeks here, when this election is over. And if you're going to take a scorched earth approach to the courts, you will suffer the consequence when you're not in power anymore. And you won't be. You have a minority party that functions by voter suppression. Look what happened in Florida today. The voter registration database crashed, and the governor has not yet extended registration deadlines. This is the symptom of the Republicans right now, and it's a desperate attempt at power, which, by the way, will deny millions of LGBTQ Americans their rights should this Supreme Court nominee get appointed to the court.
We're going to debate that a little bit later and some of the other claims made about Judge Barrett. But I want to say this because we're focusing on the hearings now. The Atlantic says that Republicans now have a much more complicated path in getting her confirmed to the court. We've got Senators Lee, Tillis, and Johnson. They could recover in time for the floor vote for Amy Coney Barrett. But for the moment, although she has the support of Republicans, Charlie, she doesn't have the votes as long as they can't be here in D.C.
Yeah, well, you still let the hearings go and leave it to Mitch McConnell to figure out the logistics of actually getting a vote done. And I'll push back with something that Ethan said. The difference in 2016 is that the presidency and the Senate were in different parties. When the presidency and the Senate are aligned, that's exactly why Republicans historically expanded their majorities in 2018 around the issue of the courts. President Donald Trump has made good on his promise to appoint constitutional judges to the Supreme Court with Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, and now with Amy Coney Barrett.
And I think, Ethan, you would agree that
Ethan, let me finish.
Seriously,
I think,
what does that mean?
Let me finish. you can agree in a probably hotly contested election with record mail-in voting, you do not want, and I do not want, a potential tie on the United States Supreme Court that would make this country go into bedlam. Remember back to 2000 of Bush versus Gore, 45 days of uncertainty. If it goes up to the U.S. Supreme Court and we tie and there's a vacancy, the U.S. Senate and the presidency would not have done their constitutional obligation to fill that seat. It is the right thing to do. It's why voters put Republicans in power, and it's also the right thing for the advise and consent portion of the U.S. Senate.
And
But
Ethan,
you
you
didn't think
know
that in
that when I put this
2016
question
was
to,
relevant.
when I've put this question, hold on a second, when I put this question to Democrats, including a Democratic senator, what would you do if Hillary Clinton was the president right now and you guys ran the Senate? They won't answer the question, but do you really expect Americans to believe that they wouldn't proceed with a nominee?
Well, 62% of Americans don't want the nominee seated before the election.
Would
62%
Democrats
of Americans
proceed?
are saying that. I mean, so I can't speak for Chuck Schumer. I can't speak for President Clinton, who got 3 million more votes than Donald Trump did in 2016, because we have this electoral college. So that, I mean, that's a theoretical, but I do know that Democrats do like to listen to the people. So if 62% are saying wait, maybe they would wait.
All right. Well, we're not going to know. Ethan, Guy, and Charlie, it's great to have all of you with us. Let's do it again soon.